Hi, my name is Pia from Terzi, and today I'm presenting our paper, The Attendant Perspective, Present Others in Public Technology Interactions. People using technology in public spaces nowadays an everyday occurrence. Public space implies a social context, in other words, present others attending the user interaction with technology. Present others influence and are influenced by the user experience. A greater and better consideration of the social context or the present others perspective in HCI research is important and necessary. For example, the user experience of technology used in public context could be improved as the presence and behavior of others can impact if and how users interact with technology. Furthermore, present others often have little or no control over the user interaction, and/or the unknown user has no knowledge, interest, or motivation to consider their needs. Thus, by gaining more insights into the perspective of present others, one could enable a positive technology experience for all people involved, not only for the users. So far, there is no systematic investigation into how present others experience public technology interactions in HCI research. Numerous models focus on the experience of the primary user of technology, while the perspective of present others is insufficiently studied. In most of the research on public technology usage, the social context of present others mostly appears an irrelevant side factor or black box. Besides, there are various terms for the present others in public technology interactions, and a common, clear, and consistent terminology is still missing. We introduced the term attendant in our research, a term that we find quite neutral and not yet used in HCI research, so that it evokes as few preconceptions or expectations as possible. Our motivation was to better understand the attendant perspective. This would not only enable us to more accurately capture and analyze the social context in research studies, but also can be a source of inspiration for innovative product development. Hence, we raised the following research questions. Question 1. Who are these present others and how to specify and operationalize different types of attendants? Question 2. How do different types of attendants experience technology interactions in public? To answer the first question, we developed the so-called attendant typology, an iterative process with the help of literature research and interview study to depict the present others in their complexity and to allow a more nuanced distinction of the construct. We approached the second question on potential differences between the types by conducting an experiential vignette study, which I'll describe later in more detail. The attendant typology distinguishes 4 types of attendance by means of 2 criteria. The 2 criteria are conspicuousness of attending the user interaction and voluntariness of attending the user interaction. The resulting 4 types are lurkers, who are secretly and voluntarily attending, the spectator, who is obvious and voluntary, the secret and forced attendant bystander, and a witness, an attendant who acts obviously and forcedly. Important to note that we do not claim exhaustiveness for this typology or the criteria and types. We found these criteria to be characteristic for everyday attendant experiences, and they allow us to cover a large number of cases. In the next step, we conduct an experiential vignette study to answer research question 2. More specifically, we aimed at exploring more closely whether and how exactly the experience of the particular types differ in a concrete use case. The users listening to music in public. In our online study, we first presented one of the 4 vignettes to each participant for manipulation of the type or conspicuousness and voluntariness, followed by the same set of questions. Thereby, next to detailed information regarding how the 4 types differ in their technology experience, or how conspicuousness and voluntariness in attendance affect their anticipated feelings and behavior, we collected participants' ideas on how to make listening to music in public more pleasant or even a positive experience for their attendants. The vignettes used in the study consisted of a textual description and pictorial representation, as you can see in the example vignette of the witness scenario on this slide. We assume that the attendant types differ primarily in their emotional response and that each type also has certain expectations or wishes in the user situation. Thus, the difference in the criteria dimensions should also be reflected in the attendant experience. We collected some quantitative and qualitative data to explore whether and how conspicuousness and voluntariness are associated with the attendant experience. The qualitative data was collected through 2 open questions on possibilities on the user and attendant side to make the interaction even more pleasant for the attendant. You see some exemplary answers from the participants in all 4 conditions in this slide. For example, lurker: if the interaction bothers me, then I can simply look away. Spectator: I would be interested in what music the user is so excited about, so if there was a way to listen in on the music myself, I would find that interesting. Bystander: I can call the airport personnel and tell them the situation and ask for clarification. and witness. The user should ask if I agree with his interaction. The results of the hypothesis testing are pointing in the same direction as the exploratory analysis, namely that there are differences in experience patterns between the 4 types. More specifically, the analysis of our key variables suggests that conspicuousness is associated with arousal and voluntariness with arousal, dominance, transparency, and consideration. For example, obvious attendants experienced higher arousal than secret attendants. Voluntary attendants experienced higher dominance, lower arousal, a weaker desire for consideration, and a stronger desire for transparency than forced. Therefore, our study dismisses overly simplistic, one-size-fits-all notions of social context by emphasizing the variance in the attendance experience. Last but not least, we summarize the key messages of our research work. For the detailed results, we invite you to read the full paper. Our study is one of the few to put the Attendant, a group of stakeholders so far playing a minor role in HCI research, in the center of attention, and further illustrates the potential of the Attendant perspective for ideation and product development. The major contributions of our work are the specification and operationalization of social context, and implications and recommendations for what to consider and how to use technology in public space. Thus, our typology can be used analytically to better understand the attendant perspective and generatively to improve or create new experience for the attendant of public technology interactions. To demonstrate the value of the typology for research and practice, we created the attendant card set, which is a tool for design, ideation, and evaluation. If you are interested in the details, please reach out to us. Thank you for watching our presentation. We are happy to hear your thoughts or answer any of your questions.